Be okay?
We're ready.
All right. I'd like to welcome everybody on a sunny 73-degree day. Feels like summer up here in Healdsburg. Dot, can I get a motion for approval of the minutes?
Yeah, motion to approve the minutes from whenever, last
Last month.
February.
Okay, I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Is there any public comment? Dr. Chong? Glenn? Anybody know of any public comment?
No, there are no public comments.
None?
I see Mr. Vanderpoorten's hand is up.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak this afternoon. Good to see everybody. I just want to bring one item to your attention, and that is when a board or committee meets, usually it meets under some authority and some authorization and some processes. You think about your PTA, your Lions Club, your library board. There's some foundational documents which establish that the organization exists. And then behind that is a set of bylaws. And usually in the bylaws, they call out a code of parliamentary procedure. And the purpose of that is that you then establish what it takes to call a meeting, what establishes enough people to have a vote. How many votes, does something have to pass by just 50%, or does it take 2/3? All of those issues are answered in a code of parliamentary procedure. If you take a look at the League of Women Voters, they would have a license from the state of California set by the Secretary of State. Then they have a set of bylaws, and then they have a set of what they call out Robert's Rules of Order. That's by far the most common set of parliamentary procedure. This committee operates under the authority of the board of Santa Rosa Junior College. So the members have been appointed. The goals and mission of this committee have been set by the board. But what's interesting is there are no bylaws and there's no parliamentary procedure. And unlike most organizations where the parent organization adopts, for example, Robert's Rules of Order, Roberts then says, absent any other action, Roberts also applies to the committees. That doesn't exist here because the board has never adopted Roberts. It has also never established what parliamentary procedure should be used by this committee. So in effect, this committee has no basis to operate. So what would happen if you learned that you had no bylaws or no parliamentary procedure? You'd think it would be natural to bring it forward to either the board, which is the overseeing committee or overseeing agency, or to the committee. And as a very simple matter, bring to the attention that, hey, board, it's been brought to our attention that we don't have any parliamentary procedure. We don't actually know how to establish a vote or resolve a problem formally. And therefore, we, the committee, should establish and adopt a code of parliamentary procedure. It's pretty straightforward. But SRJC has known about this issue for a couple of months. And from what I can tell, nobody's brought that forward to this committee or to the board. I think it's something, it's pretty reasonable, pretty easy. Please take care of it.
Yeah, good to hear you. Good day. Anybody else? That was very good. All right, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Chong now. Frank?
Thank you, Terry, and good afternoon, everybody. I was on campus today, and there's a lot of good work and construction going on. We have a visiting team here for our accreditation. They're holding a forum, I think, this afternoon. So everybody's very, very busy, including facilities. So I'm going to turn it over to Seraphin to walk you through the agenda and to give you updates and answer any questions that the committee has. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Dr. Chong, and good afternoon, everyone. I am going to share my screen so we can jump right into our presentation this afternoon. All right, I see a black screen. Do you see a black screen?
No, we see the PowerPoint on.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You have the title page on, Seraphin.
You know what? I'm going to stop and start because I am not seeing anything on my screen. So let's try this again. I'm not seeing anything. Sorry about that. Let me try something here.
It's being shown on our side.
Did it move?
Yeah. You're on purchasing update now.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry. My screen is blank. Glenn, can you try sharing it? I'll stop sharing. For some reason, my screen is black when I try to share.
Seraphin, why don't you just walk us through the slides, and whatever you see, we see, even though you don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me. All right, this is really weird. My screen is black, but okay, I see the presentation now. So let's go ahead and start with purchasing update. Next slide. Yes, so there are currently there are currently three solicitations that are out. The ERP software system is still in progress. There's a pest management service RFP that is out. Those proposals are due later this week. And then there is a RFP for the digital scoreboard for the athletic field sporting events. Those proposals are due tomorrow. And this the scoreboard is actually funded by the SRJC Foundation. And then also the Newman Hall electrical and AV wiring that is currently out to bid. It's a CUPCA bid estimated at $95,000, and those bids are due next week. There was one contract that was awarded since our last meeting, and that was the CEQA Consulting Services for the construction and building trade center in Petaluma. That was awarded to GHD Consulting. Next slide, please. Next up, we have Kevin for IT.
Thank you, Seraphin. Good afternoon. Quick little bit of elaboration on the ERP project. As noted in the previous slide, we have selected two vendors, Anthology by Campus Management and Aleutians. They're probably going to try to sell us Banner 9, which is what they're trying to, that's their big dog in that particular fight.
Kevin, could you not use acronyms for those who don't know what ERP is?
Thank you, Dr. Chong. Absolutely. ERP is an enterprise resource planner.
Thank you.
It's a suite of software that can replace a lot of the software systems at the district, including potentially human resources, finance, and in this particular case, most importantly, our student information system. So that is the nature of the project, and that's the most important of the ones that we're trying to replace at this point. And thank you, Dr. Chong, again. It's easy in the IT field to rely on acronyms, so appreciate you calling me on that. It's going to be an interesting choice because Aleutian has been around forever. They're very well established. There are scores of colleges, California community colleges, that use Aleutian products. Anthology is a relative newcomer to the arena, so it's going to be interesting to see how the two stack up. They will be demoed in the end of March and mid-April, with tech demos on the 19th and 20th of April. So the goal is to have made a choice of vendor by the end of term. A quick update on the Busman Data Center. Huzzah, we finally passed the pressure test, so we were able to certify the fire suppression and all that stuff. Now, as of today, me and my team went through the old part of the data center and started working at the last bits of hardware that we're going to migrate to the brand spanking new room. So things are finally moving along there. I'm very happy to report, and that completes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we'll jump into updates of our projects, and we'll start with Ryan.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. First up is Garcia Hall renovations. We're currently performing rough-in work, continued in February. And then as the photo shows, we have the auditorium seating platform was framed in just a couple days ago. So that's moving along. Next slide, please. For Busman IT renovation, DSA provided design comments on February 9th. Our architect SFA projected a 3-week turnaround, and they should be back to DSA the beginning of March. So we anticipate that very soon. Next slide, please. And for the Schoen Farm AG portables, final rough-in work was completed in February. Finishes began as well. And as you can see by the picture, the flooring and acoustic ceiling are currently being installed. Next slide, please. Next up is the Schoen Farm greenhouse. The new greenhouse started foundation construction in February, and the greenhouse material was also delivered in late February. So we hope to be pouring that next week. Next slide, please. In the Public Safety Training Center, this project is still in design and targeting DSA submission in the spring of 2022. So that one's moving along in design.
Thank you, Ryan. Next up is Heather.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. For CAD Phase 2, we are putting in finishes at the Bailey Fieldhouse. You can see by the photos, the storefronts are completely installed with glazing, the ductwork is installed. The tile work and the restrooms and locker rooms are installed. Painting has started. Yeah, next slide. We also have set the rooftop HVAC equipment. The elevators being installed. Flooring starts next week. And then the pavers at the second floor outdoor deck is scheduled for later this month. At the pool, we've completed all of the exterior set concrete around the pool deck. We're also continuing on with the fencing. We put in some of the fabric around the pool support building. And you can see also we started putting in security, the emergency call stations and card readers are going in. And for Towser, DSA did approve the evaluation design criteria report for the full seismic retrofit. So the next steps are submitting the actual full set of plans and specifications for the entire project, which will be next week. The timeline for approval of those plans is this fall. I am also going through the CUPCA process to hire a contractor to assist the testing lab because we have a lot of data collection we have to do in relation to the evaluation and design criteria report for DSA. I am working with the athletic director to kind of coordinate because that will be destructive for Towser. We're actually right now targeting early summer to do that testing. And we did receive optimistic news from the chancellor's office. While it's just a preliminary indication, there's reason to hope that we will have the full amount of our funding request approved by the chancellor's office. It won't be formal for some time, but so far it looks good. And then once we have DSA approval of the plans and specifications, we will submit them for review to the chancellor's office before bidding the project. And so we're looking at a start of construction next May or June 2023.
Thank you, Heather. Next up is Rhonda.
Good afternoon, everyone. STEM is moving along well. Tomorrow, we're pouring half of the second floor concrete deck. The other half is scheduled for next week. The roof, we're finishing up the decking and the MEP inserts. The third floor, the same. And on the first floor, forming up the edges for there.
Thank you, Rhonda. The same.
Afternoon, everyone. Baker Hall, room 1850 is complete and staff has moved their equipment into the room. The custom casework and tops installation are now in progress and will be completed by the middle of March. I have furniture and equipment scheduled to be delivered March 10th. The final piece of the door hardware on 7 of the exterior doors is scheduled to begin this week. And I am projecting completion of the project by the end of this month, March. Next slide. Bertolini Student Health Services has moved into the space and they're in operation. The reception room furniture has been delivered and the office furniture is scheduled to be delivered April 1st. Kevin Mack Construction, the general contractor, has finished all of the punch list items and I'm just waiting for the final documents to come in hopes that I can file the NOC for the April Board of Trustees approval. Campus-wide security project. Everything is finished on the Windsor and Petaluma campuses, including the closeout documents. As of yesterday, I completed the last elevators and final hardware that was installed on the last 2 buildings. DSA approved the site accessibility work is going to be starting this week, and I will be pouring the final concrete sidewalk scheduled for the middle of March. A final walk on the Santa Rosa campus with IT facilities and the police will be held the second week of March. And I'm projecting completion with the total project by the end of this month. Foundation new office building, you can see the site's been cleared and the pad has been compacted. They're setting forms and we'll be starting the excavation and plumbing and electrical underslab work. Next activities after that will be setting up the pad for the concrete pour, which is scheduled April 5th. And we expect it to be completed by January of 2023.
Thank you, Amy. Next up is Mike.
Hello, everyone. So the housing project, as you can see, where we're headed is on the left, and then it's finally starting to take shape on the right. What you see there is the result of the first of 3 concrete pours for the mat foundation. So that occurred 2 weeks ago. And then last week, we had our second pour, and this week on the 3rd, so it's Thursday, we'll have our 3rd and final pour for this 54-inch thick mat slab. You can go to the next slide. So a different view of that pour on the left, and you can start to see how thick that slab is and the amount of rebar that's part of it on the right there. Next slide. We're up to 36 workers per day on average on the site, and pretty soon we'll start to go vertical. To date, everything's been underground, but now that the foundation will be complete this week. We have a crane being delivered Thursday, steel being delivered Friday, and we'll start going up. So you'll actually be able to see it from a distance. And just want to mention, there's been a request of a few people on the Santa Rosa team to go out to the site periodically. So if anyone on this call wants to be put on the invite list for our, probably not monthly, but every 6 to 8 weeks or so, just let me know or let Glenn know and we'll make sure to invite you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We have 13 items that will be going for your approval next week at the board meeting. We have change order number 5 for the STEM project for labor construction. This change order adds the emergency call buttons to all the classrooms in the building. Again, this was part of the security standards that were adopted after the project design was actually complete. And then there's a couple of other items, smaller items that are part of that change order, adding a wing wall, adding additional piping for some of the exterior hose bibs, and a floor drain in the chiller room. This will take these change orders to a total of 1.62% on the total project. Next item, we have an amendment number 2 to the testing lab for the same project, STEM project. These are testing required by DSA. We have change order number 1 for the Baker Hall renovation project to Holly and Associates. This will take our total change orders to 4.54%. And most of this scope includes the additions by DSA, mostly around the doors, new door hardware that needed to be included, as well as some roof accommodations that when they did the roof penetration. So in order to maintain the roof warranty that we currently have with the project, the contractor needed to address some of that scope and work there. For the Burbank auditorium, we had the gutter replacement project. We have 1 change order. The total change order is a credit to the contract. We added 1 roof hatch, and then there was a credit from lesser cost of materials and freight charges to the project. So this is the first and only change order for the project, and it's a credit of $2,558. And then the next item on the list is the notice of completion for that project. For the CAD Phase 2 project, we have amendment number 1 to Consolidated Engineering Laboratories. They are also DSA lab, carrying out testing required by DSA. And then the next 2 are notices of completions for roofing projects at the Petaluma campus. 1 contract was for buildings 100 and 200, and then the second contract was for building 600. Both of these projects are complete and ready to be approved by you. The next item is a contract to Norby Electric. This is for load shed installation, and this is a contract for the microgrid project funded by the microgrid grant. The next one is also a notice of completion. This one is for the Button Foundation demolition project to IMX Inc. We are now complete with the project and asking for your approval on the notice of completion. The next item is a labor compliance monitoring professional services for Harrison Associates. As you may recall, Harrison Associates was hired a couple years back to administer all the labor compliance required by the state on all of the Measure H projects. So this is an amendment that takes us through the end of 2023. The next item is an amendment number 3 for JGM for construction management services. The amendment pretty much handles the projects that were being managed previously by Samita. So this is an amendment added to that contract. And then the final item is resolution number 622. This resolution will ask the board to authorize the purchase of the property at 950 South Wright Road in Santa Rosa, also known to us as the Southwest Center, from Wright Elementary School District. The action will also ask you to approve a occupancy agreement with Wright Elementary School District, where they plan to use a couple of the portables and the gymnasium for storage through the end of the year. And that are all the items that will be before you. So unless you have any questions, that does conclude our report.
Thank you, Seraphin. Any questions?
Yeah, I just had a question about Wright Road. So when do we, when does it actually close where it's actually owned?
So your approval will authorize us to proceed with opening of escrow. So the first step. The second step will be the Wright Elementary School Board. They're scheduled to approve on the 10th of March. So also next week. So as soon as the two boards approve, then we'll enter into escrow.
Okay, so, and then we're looking at another 60, 90 days.
No, the resolution indicates that escrow will close within 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, within 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, okay. All right, great. And I assume we'll get a copy of that resolution when the board agenda is posted
That's
in the next few days. Okay, great.
as well.
Thank
As well as the occupancy agreement. You'll have both.
Ah,
Part of your
Okay.
agenda.
Okay. So, Seraphin, just to follow up on that, congratulations, that's exciting. When this is made public, at least that we're entering into escrow, but you'll probably let the public know that, that Wright school board has to still approve it, and then things can go forward. Is that what I just heard?
That is correct. All of the negotiations are complete. So the resolution, as being presented to you, has been negotiated and agreed upon by the Wright Elementary School District as well. So at this point, we are just crossing the T's, dotting the I's, for approvals. But yes, we will notify the public that after your approval, there is still one pending by the Wright board.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, Mike has a question.
Go ahead, Mike.
First of all, it's kind of interesting to hear you talk about when the public learns. Well, this is really a public meeting. I realize the public almost never attends, but it is a public meeting.
That's not our fault, sir.
No, I understand that, but you think somebody might pick up on it. So I'm going to ask two things. One is if the PowerPoint could be posted on board docs, that would certainly be helpful. And the second question is, does the ERP involve replacing board docs? There's been discussion around the county about how systems such as board docs really are an important part of the archives of the junior college and of other different government agencies, and how we want to make sure that those archives are not lost if the system gets replaced. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No, I just want to thank Seraphin and his team
Yeah.
for all the hard work they put into the purchase of Southwest Center. It's been years in the making, and I want to appreciate Trustee Benuelos and Trustee Martinez in particular for their advocacy, and for Delachey Carmona Benson, our SGA president, who's been a Roseland resident. And I think we have great plans for it once we take over ownership, and then we're going to make some capital improvements to make it really a state-of-the-art type of learning center. And the plan is to, since we're so busy right now with the accreditation and with spring break coming up, is we're thinking about maybe doing a formal press conference, maybe around Cinco de Mayo, as a celebratory thing for the community to feel good about. And I'll work with Trustee Benuelos and Trustee Martinez, particularly, and other trustees who are interested to work on this celebration. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, everybody, for your presentations, and enjoy the week, and meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye.